when I come to terms with how consciousness works, and most specifically for me, my consciousness, that my connection with the most important things in life is mystical. And when I am content with that, when I am content with the fact that the images in my mind are not the reality, the names I have are not. Jesus is not his name. But the name Jesus can connect me with what and who he is. And once I accept that, I am set free to know how all this works and to exercise my spiritual discernment and spiritual connection. And then, there it is. There it is. And here we're talking about a pattern of being, divine being, eternal being. Call it the family of God. I looked it up to find out technically, or technically, from a religious standpoint, are angels part of God? And whoever it was, Wikipedia or whoever, was like waffled on a little bit. It's like they're agents of God, but not exactly. And for some, it's Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Interesting that one of the names for God that's used in the Old Testament is Elohim. Elohim. When you hear a Hebrew word with im at the end, it's plural, typically, like cherubim, more than one cherub. Elohim is a plurality of the being of God. What came through the Israelites was that there's one God, one reality. And yet that doesn't deny, the oneness doesn't deny plurality, if you will. As I go, in America, it's e pluribus unum, but the many in one, I think, in Latin. So the principle of oneness is at work. Over the last few weeks, including today, we are tuning in to the center of being, at least related to this world, the God center. You could say there are many aspects of being that are divine. The deer that wander through the valley are made by God. They've got Spirit of God somehow moving through them. I don't know what else it would be. Part of the power of the Creator. You could connect with one of those deer, and that'd be wonderful. But you're not necessarily connecting with all of everything, all of God by connecting with that deer, probably not. But the magic of connecting with the center of being is that when you connect with that center and honor that center of being, you are honoring all of being at the same time. You're not leaving anything out. So this time of year has the blessing that the spirit of the center of being, it comes into the awareness of people. I want to read something by Krishnamurti, the Indian philosopher. relevant here. He said, meditation is really very simple. We complicate it. We weave a web of ideas around it, what it is and what it is not. But it is none of these things, because it is so very simple, it escapes us. Because our minds are so complicated, so time-worn, so time-based. And this mind dictates the activity of the heart. And then the trouble begins. But meditation comes naturally, with extraordinary ease, when you walk on the sand or look out of your window or see those marvelous hills burnt by last summer's sun. Why are we such tortured human beings with tears in our eyes and false laughter on our lips? If you could walk alone among those hills or in the woods or along the long white bleached sands, in that solitude, you would know what meditation is. My experience, meditation is a peacefulness. It's a centering. Some people in mystic Christianity talk about centering prayer. It's a centering, and it is in some way an emptying, and yet the experience isn't empty. I think often when people think of meditation, they think of it as a matter of the mind, and the mind is somehow involved. But it is also a matter of the heart. If it's just a matter of the mind, it tends to leave a blankness. And you can sit in so-called meditation for a long time, but there's not much happening if there's not a heart opening and a heart discernment of reality that brings inspiration and activation and brings connection with the Creator.